Okay, let's see here. So this is my list of things that I have to eventually work on. Recently took a bunch of motion capture with Amanda the Tech Dancer, and I also still have a bunch of Yoshi ones I gotta go through. I have a bunch from everybody I have to go through, but I think I'm gonna do dance today and kind of clean that up. I was gonna do Yoshi's, but his is pretty long, and I don't know if this machine will handle it with the streaming. So I think I might stick with some of the smaller ones. I got some spins. I can start with the spins. That might be interesting. And ballerina stuff, some dance there. Let's see. Let's do. Yeah, let's start with the spins. Let's just do that. That'll be a good one to kind of just make sure everything's working, all that good stuff. So I typically have a program I use for just kind of managing all of the things I still have to process. This is kind of my own custom-made tool for just getting things from motion capture recordings to something a little easier for other people to use, to put up on the store and use for games and movies and whatnot. I think I decided to do the spins. So let's do spins. And then this basically just kicks off Blender. And then we'll have to load up a video for it. We don't have to, but it's way easier and nicer to get your stuff in sync. So it should be loading something. Here we go. All right, so this should be the spin motion capture animation on this side. And I'm gonna do a video over here, but I believe I'll have to tweak the video. Let's just see. Let's add movie, and then this movie exists under here. And then what do I have for this? I have for spins it is 7805. All right, let's see if that's right. 7805. Where is this? Very first one. Interesting. It's weird that has a different date. I kind of don't think that's the spin one. That is what I wrote down, isn't it? That is. Let's bring up an in player first just to make sure. So in player. Yeah, this is the one I got written. That's why. Let's see. Let's see what this actually is. And I see nothing. Well, that is not helpful. Error calling. Oh, must be conflicting with OBS or something. Let's try it this way. Nope, this is spins. All right, we're good. Let's do that. So if I added, let's see if it's sideways or not. That's a thing that sometimes happens when you load it into Blender. It doesn't read the metadata. And okay. Are we locked up? Oh, we're locked up. What's happening here? This machine doesn't have a ton of memory. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to do anything too complicated, but it should have been good for this. This is just a movie. I think it's a large movie, I suppose. Maybe we'll just give it a minute. See if we get any errors on the. Oh, there it goes. Yep, and it did. Whoa. Oh, because it's catching up to what I had before. So yeah, it's sideways. I was afraid of that. So what we have to do, or well, there's probably a couple ways to solve this, but the way I typically solve it is I just simply take the video, pump it through a FMPEG, and then on the outside we'll just call it spins.mp4. And even just translating to the same MP4 will automatically apply the rotation, and so that'll look better. I could also use it to change the speed, but I'm going to use Blender to change the speed. Maybe down the road I'll look up what that takes to do that with Fmpeg, because I think it would handle it a bit better than Blender does. Blender seems to take a decent amount of overhead, adding speed to your video. So I think this was taken with a Pixel phone, and that pretty high resolution, I believe, and they're pretty large files. And so I think that's part of the problem why it's so slow to kind of load these up. I don't need them that big for this type of work, so that's probably another thing I should do, is not only adjust the speed, but also try and maybe make it smaller. A little less resolution would be fine. Okay, cool, finished. So let's add that one. Add movie spins. There we go. Alright, now we don't need the audio. Alright, so it probably is not in sync with this, because yeah, this is set up about when she's ready to do the spin, so I remember right. Yeah, so that's going to go ahead and start spinning. So we want this one to be kind of in that pose where she's getting ready to do a spin. Almost there. It's running so slow. Alright, that looks like about where we're going to want at the start. So I think what I'll do, I'll bring it back just a bit, and then I'm going to hit K to cut it. I'm going to delete this. I don't need this. Let's put this back to the beginning. And we'll grab this, slide this over. Sure. Alright, so it's not quite there yet. So I want to get the video basically lined up with the motion capture on the left. And unfortunately, every time I make a change, it takes a long time for it to be affected. Must just be the memory of having, OBS and Restream and everything going. So we're at -6, I guess, right now. It's weird, I'm hitting the keys like twice and it's only like moving like once, which is odd. I'm going to eventually get a better laptop for this, but I'm waiting on the 11th. 11th, I think Asus is going to announce some new laptops, so I'll either get one of the new ones or I'll use that as an excuse to get a slightly older one for cheaper, assuming they haven't been purchased by all the crypto miners, which is probably likely. I think we're almost there. Okay, let's just say that's it. Oh, what just happened? Oh my god, are you kidding me? I think it was at -11. So we'll just do it by hand. -11. What on earth? There we go. Jeez. Okay, so that's what we'll start it. So that should be good. We got to basically add. So Shift A. I'm going to add an adjustment, or not adjustment, effect strip of speed control. We need to make this go a little bit faster than it normally does. So 1.2 is usually good. And then that should get, because this records at like 100 frames per second. So by adjusting this a bit, they should be basically in sync, and they won't drift apart. I don't like working necessarily on the bones. So what I typically do is I'll retarget this, and I'm going to use the Hacktop tools for that. This should just take a second. This won't take nearly as long as some of the video stuff. what this is doing is it's loading when the mix and mo default XBot, and it puts that on instead. And so it's just easier to kind of work with. And then let's get, so we're already seeing one issue where she is above the ground, so we'll have to fix that. Let's see here. That'll be the first thing I'll fix. In order to do that, we'll go into animation. We have NLA over here. We're going to push this down, and I'm going to set this blending to combine, and then that should allow us to make changes. I'm also going to change this to pose mode. I'm going to also change the viewport to say in front because I want to grab those bones. All right, and we're on this one. So what we'll do is we'll start with one. We're going to go ahead and grab it, hit Z, move it down to the floor. That doesn't be exact. We'll just kind of eyeball it, and then we'll just say insert the location of that hip, and then let's jump in the frames a bit. So still on the ground. Can't really tell if it's sync. I'm afraid to hit play. Oh, so this drops way below here. So this is probably, motion capture gets very confused. Interesting, the foot isn't pivoted up, assuming that's the right spin. We might be off on the spin though. The spins are pretty fast. Let's see how synced this is. Oh yeah, so it's not synced. That's actually pretty far into that turn. All right. Let's see if I can grab this, move it to the left a bit. Oh, too far. That might be right. That looks decent. Yeah. Now this character's sliding all over the place, so we'll definitely need to fix that. Wow, that is crazy. Maybe we'll stop it here. Yeah, why not? We'll stop it here. Let's do this much. All right, so control it, and then do I have an N key on this laptop? I guess I don't. That's strange. Let's punch it in then. 162. I was gonna hit Control End. That would just jump to where I'm at. All right, so this will be our animation we'll work with. So when does it start to go way off? Well, here's looks like a good spot where it's off. So all we're going to do is I'm going to grab it on the Z, move it up. We're just going to do a couple of these, and I'm going to kind of have it go underneath the ground a bit there. Insert the location. Now right now I'm only inserting the location of the hip placement there. And so what we should have, so wow, it's gone up pretty high. I do not know why it bounces up so high. So I have to fix that as well. How does it go? Oof. Really strange how bad this is. Usually you get a little bit of location drifting, but this is a lot. There's one thing that should compensate for it. Maybe it was off, but there's a Vive controller on her thigh here, and there's these base stations in the corner. And those should keep track of where you're at in three-dimensional space. And so you shouldn't get this far off. But it definitely looks like that is the case. And it should also go left and right, and that needs to be adjusted. Oof, I do not like that. So let's see. So between that dot and that one. Here, I'm gonna zoom up on this one. Hit home down here, so these are bigger. All right. And this one, and then we go to this one. So the foot's way over. So I'm gonna grab them, move them on the X. Did I not hit X? Grab X. Oh, I'm on the timeline. Need it up here. So hold on. Let me go back to this one. I'm gonna put my finger on the screen actually where I want this back at. And so I jump to here. I say grab X. There we go. put that over here. I'm going to redo that location. Before I do, let me just make sure so I want to make sure this is yellow. So I know I'm overwriting. Sometimes I end up inserting at the wrong location there. And so now, between here and there, okay, so still goes way too high up in the air. Peak is there. So let's just say from there to here. Let's just grab them. Oh, wrong thing. Keep doing that. Insert another one. Okay. These are staying on the ground. It's definitely better. Let's take a look at that now. Okay, well, we haven't fixed the rest of it yet, so makes some sense. All right, so we can go from here. Let's just jump ahead. Let's just move them over on the X. I should probably be checking different views as well, but I'm not going to at the moment. So that still seems to be about right. It's not too far off, a little bit high up. That one definitely moved. I mean, one nice thing is that her foot is in the same basic location, so I just gotta keep going to that same spot on the grid. That should look a lot better. Her foot might have dropped a little different. Let's see. Oh, this goes a little bit flat, but I don't think she slides really. So let's just go ahead and move this. I'm just hitting G, kind of moving to the same spot in the grid. I wish I could kind of put a marker there so everybody knows where I'm at. Right now, I'm actually putting my finger on the screen. That's how I keep track of where this is at. If I could do a grid line or something and put that there, that'd be way nicer. But yeah, so looking at this, we have lots of weird, very weird things that happen here. That's helping. Let's take a look at that. Not bad. And we're not really worrying about anything else at the moment. We're really just focusing on moving the hip and trying to get the basic body where it's supposed to be in three-dimensional space. And I think it's just a problem with the sensor. The sensor battery might have been dead or off or something. That should have fixed this issue. This isn't usually this big of a problem. So let's go ahead and let's see. My eyeball on that grid line. It's still basically there. It's a little bit off. It's kind of a cool pose. Oh, see, that's way off. It's crazy. Now, does it bounce a lot between these now? Oh, not too bad. Okay. It's a good sign. Our foot does kind of pivot a bit there. Not Not as much as it does here, but maybe there might be good. Okay, that one's way off. Let's significantly correct that. It goes underneath the ground a little bit. I think I want to adjust that here. I might regret that later because it looks like the foot's a little bit off. Maybe I should just leave it for now. No, let's put it in there. See what it does. Okay. Oof. Just gonna go right to the floor there. Okay. I'll grab this. Probably I'm thinking about there. Let's see, there's a lot of jumping here, so let's just check it real quick. Looks okay. Getting the 162, so we're about halfway done at the moment. This isn't. Ooh. Okay, so just grab it, go back to where that is, do insert location, pick another spot, grab it, put it back there. It's okay if it's not perfect too, because you know people slide around the floor and all that, and we don't need an exact duplicate of what Amanda was doing. We just need it to be similar. This will actually look really cool when it's done. This is the first time I've ever worked with a ballerina before, and it was really cool. Really cool. I was pretty impressed. I mean, I've seen ballerinas on stage and stuff, but seeing somebody in person, just be able to get up on their toes, and she did some stuff in point shoes and all that too during some of these takes, and it's really crazy. Oh, wow, look how I think these inertia sensors are just like, whoa, too much inertia. All right, getting there. So I think the foot looks like it's moved, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it for this one. I'm gonna take a look at it. I don't know if it's slid or not. Well, I mean, obviously there's a bounce. Yeah, something's off. The foot in the video is pretty solid. It doesn't seem like it moves at all, so let me adjust that. So I'm just going to change the location. I think this one has another issue where it gets too high for some reason. I think the foot sensor. So the sensor here, it's just kind of in the shoelaces, and I wouldn't be surprised if it popped out a bit, causing this foot to look janky. When she's in her point shoes, we actually strap them in, and I think that might be a better solution. I'm gonna fix this one too. Just needs to be just moved just a bit. Once I figure out where, maybe there. Maybe there. Oh no, that one's going under the ground a little too much. Not a huge issue, but I do feel like moving it up a notch. Okay. Yeah, see, that foot looks like it does slide on the screen. Yeah, so it goes from this side to over here. That actually may not be wrong. Well, that's definitely wrong. So let's just go with this being right. Let's just pretend this is right. We'll add a location here. And then when it goes crazy, we'll just move it back to where it was. We'll just stick it right back there maybe. I think that's right. I don't know. We'll find out. And then move this one. Thinking there. And Ming, regardless, it's going to look a lot better than the motion capture was first recorded. I don't know what the rest looks like. I haven't been paying attention. I don't know if you have, but I have not. Just been paying attention where these feet are in relative position. Alright. Let's just take a look. What does this look like? Oh. Man, no, we knew it was going to slide a bit. But it does in real life there too. So I don't think that was wrong. We're off a little bit on the frames during the video, but not bad. Interesting. She goes off the ground in this. She isn't really in that one, so maybe I'll drop this a little bit. That's kind of cool. I think this should come off the ground. You could. You take some artistic licensing when you're doing some of this stuff. I mean, I could fix it too, that even though in reality her foot did go over there, we could always make it not do that. I mean, it really doesn't matter, honestly. I'll think about it. I haven't decided if I care yet. Alright, so one thing I want to do is I want to look at it from the other angle here. No, not that angle. This angle. Let's see, what does this look like when I scrub through this? So there's maybe, I don't know. It's not. I feel this should be not moving so much. I guess that's fine, but this doesn't seem fine. So the thing I'm thinking about, if I were to change this, I'll probably have to adjust a lot of these. This is why I should have been checking both angles. I mentioned that. Hey guys, hey Angerman and Swathy, how you guys doing? I don't think I'm going to buy followers. I don't need to become famous, but thank you. So just thinking, trying to decide from this move, like even though like, you know, you can see in the video that the foot does jump in real life, we could make this model not if we wanted to. I think I'm just not going to worry about it. I think I'm going to try and keep it a little bit close to reality. I think as long as it stays on the ground and doesn't start flying up in the air, I think I'll be okay. Let's take a look at it with like an angle. I don't know. I think it's a little too, oh, it's too much sliding. It's definitely too much sliding. Nah, we're going to have to fix that. That's going to bug me. Even if she moved in real life, I still would fix this. This is just not how I want that to look. Okay. Alright, let's see here. So let's put it back to the bones in front. And then, okay. So I still have the hips selected. Now again, the problem's going to be once I start moving this, all of the ones with dots on it, I'm going to have to adjust those as well. But whatever, it's fine. It'll look better at the end. I think I'll like it a lot better. So yeah, this is the biggest one. So let's look at what line it's on. So it's basically right here on the 40 mark. So I'm going to look at this bone, and I'm going to move it. So I'm going to grab this on the Y this time. We're doing X last time. We're going to put it basically where that one is. And so we're going to insert the location, and then we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're going to jump to the next, I don't know what you call it, diamond, and then we'll grab that on the Y, and then move that over. I'm lucky on the Y, so I don't really change too much. Oops, I did not click location. May not matter too much. I mean, we could make the, it doesn't matter. Just keep going this route. I mean, technically you can sit here and tweak these forever if you really want to, but I don't. So here we go. Insert location. These were close to each other because if I remember right, the person was flying up in the air at that point in time. So just getting them back to where they were at before. All right. Oops, if I insert. So I'm basically doing this one-handed, and so if I move my hand off the mouse too far, oh, that's basically in the right spot. That's interesting. All right, that definitely is not. So we could leave this. So this one's a little bit off, but she doesn't have to pivot perfectly. So maybe we'll allow for this change. We'll just fix it here. Hopefully I won't regret this decision. Insert location. We gotta do this some more. I thought this foot was wrong, but looking at the video, foot was actually sideways. Okay. And then we'll slide this over. That's, well, we're about there again. Interesting. It's like a lost location in three-dimensional space, and maybe sometimes it gets it back. That's interesting. I wonder if this was just having a bad day. Maybe it wasn't like totally dead. I don't know. I'm not sure why this data is so bad when it comes to 3D. When I get to this yellow bar, I'm gonna probably go back and make more changes. I think I'm gonna make it so she doesn't slide. I'm gonna do that artistic licensing and change it even more off of what happened in reality for what I actually want it to look like. I don't think she'd be upset. She might be, but she has the raw data too. She's a tech like me, so she gets the same. She gets all of these motion capture files when she does it. Because she knows what she's doing. So this is just for explanation purposes, and I'll eventually probably turn this into a hopefully more useful tutorial video. I'll take the stream and do that. At least that's the concept, assuming this ends up being useful at all. This development stream I'm doing right now. Alright, location. Almost to the part where I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to review it before I do it though. Location. And then location. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the beginning here. Let's see what this is looking like just from this angle. A little bit of slide still. Not awful. Way better than it was. Where's that slide at? There. That's probably the part where I was like, oh, I'm going to allow it. And now I'm not sure if I like it. Yeah, let's just go back and do it again. So with an angle. Okay, so we hit. Hey, where'd that spot go? Somewhere around here is where we moved it. I don't know why the yellow didn't stay. It's weird. But yeah, I think in general, up until that, looks good. I like it, actually. Alright, let's go back to where we're at here. So, oh man, I lost track of it now. Oh, we lost the O because I moved some things. Okay, well, we should be able to tell where it's at. So I think what I want to do here to fix this is I am going to do it in two angles. So we're going to see it this angle and then this angle. And we're going to try and keep them in the same location. I'm not going to have her foot move. So that looks okay. I think it's still okay on this one. Still okay there. This is where we're going to change it. So we'll grab it on the X. We're going to move it back. Insert location. And then we're going to jump back to where we're at. We're going to change the view again. So we're looking at the Y. We're going to make sure the Y stays in the same place. So it's a little bit, it's not quite there. So we're going to move the Y a little bit too. All right. That's not bad. So let's go over here. Change back to the X. And see. Oh, see, that's bad. So we'll grab it on the X and put it, I think it was here. I should pay him a little more attention. Let's double check it. Yeah, that's fine. And then here, yeah, it needs to be moved again. So I'll grab on the X. Insert location. Let's put it back and check the other, check on the Y. Yeah, Y is wrong. It goes here. Check it again. It's probably okay. And I think I had done X on this one already, right? Let's check. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Needs to be changed. It didn't take that long. We're almost done. Okay, now let's check the Y. All right, there should do it. And then we know the Y is going to be messed up, so let's just go ahead and grab that again. Put that back. insert location, come back to here, and then change it back to the X view. Go ahead and correct that a bit. Oh, I think there. Yeah. I think that looks right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so let's do the Y. Y is definitely going to be wrong, so grab on the Y. Cool. So let's insert that one, and let's take a look. Let's go back to the beginning. That's looking good. It's nice. There's a little bit of weirdness here. Where is that? Yeah, there. It might just be where that foot twists. Which we can fix that. It's a different bone. I'm not trying to necessarily work on it now, but I kind of feel that might be the issue there. Let's see. No, calf maybe gets weird. Something's off there. What is it? I mean, this is where in the real world she had jumped. So that might take a little bit more doing. Yeah, because I think this knee, of course, is twisting much further because, it, you know, in real life it moved. So I think I would just have the knee not maybe go as far. I would just try and stay a little more still. All right, so that's something we'll have to adjust, but I don't think it's based on where the root bone is. I think the root bone's probably fine. I'll have to move the leg. Fun. Okay. Okay, that might be the next thing I'll do. Let's take a look. Watch this again. About the info. Oops. About this one. I mean, there's still some skating that occurs. Especially right there in the very beginning. From here. Yeah, okay, let's see if I can fix that. That doesn't seem right. Let's see the problem here. So it's probably on the y-axis. Okay. Let's work backwards on this one. So, you know it's there. Let me do it in front again so I can see these better. Alright, so it's basically right on that line. So if I go back, that's still good. That's still good. That's not. Which leg is it? Okay, so it's the ones over there. Alright, so let's grab this, and we're doing on the Y. Moving this up and down. Alright. So I'll grab this on the Y. Move them back. Insert location. And then go back to the very, very beginning. Grab on the Y. I don't usually work backwards like this, but in my head right now it doesn't seem like that would be that hard. And I'd have to change less stuff. Better. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, cool, I like that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a save. Let's put this under, no, not that directory. Look at edits. Oh, the spins. Cool. Alright, so now what to edit next? Let's go back to the front view, take a look at what we got. Oh, that's not front view, control 1. Alright, looking at the model and looking at this. Hand is about right. This one seems a little crooked. Head might be right, but I might want to make that a little more forward. Yeah, the fingers are probably wrong. Manus honestly doesn't do a very good job with the fingers. It's unfortunate. But I've definitely had problems recently with Manus gloves and their finger tracking. See, look at this. It's just weird. I think I'll fix that last out because their fingers are a pain. Alright, outside of that, her initial stance looks about right. Let's just zoom in. Let's see, at this stage, what we got? I'm not going to bother changing the toe stuff. That's something you can definitely do. I don't have sensors for the toe, so they never get tracked correctly. I only have them on that bone, which I can't think of what that bone's name is off the top of my head, but that one. Yeah, head seems right. Oh, okay. It might just be, oh, here we go. So here's the problem. So this leg is passing through the thigh. I mean, it's going to be really close. And it's just barely in front. I mean, this isn't that bad. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to move this part of the leg or do I want to move the whole leg? Because it will affect things. Let's just see what it looks like if I move this one. So whenever I'm rotating these, I always lock it down to a local axis. So let's play this a bit. Let's see if on the X it would go this way. And oh, to do that, you hit the key twice. So Z twice will move it. So Z looks like what I'd want. I don't like to move it. Yeah, that's what I want. So if I'm going to move it, I'd put it right about here. So I think I'll do so I don't mess this up because I kind of like the rest of the movement. I don't really know where it's supposed to be. I think I'm going to go ahead and insert a rotation here. We'll consider this like a good rotation. And here we're going to say that one's a bad one, right? And so we'll say this is a good one. So we'll just insert a rotation here. Okay, and so the reason why I'm doing these on the front and back of the one I want to fix is when I get to the area I think is like the worst spot, the middle, I do a rotate on the Z, I move it out a little bit, I insert that rotation, and then what we should get is just a fixed animation, and then when it gets back to here, I'm back to whatever it was before. And it could be wrong. That may not be where it really should be at, but as far as I'm concerned, it still looks fine. So I think we're good. All right, then she does this, and then it comes back in. Yeah, so I think, do we go through? No, it's not bad. Okay, so I'm really just focusing on the legs right now. Seems okay too. That's where she hops, right? So for that one, I think I'm going to need to fix the other leg. So let me take a look here. What's the best way to vision this? Let's see what it looks like from here. The foot for sure needs to be adjusted. And it comes off the ground too. I think that's a spot I need to fix with the hip. here. Really wants to be up in the air. Oh, so I did rotation. I didn't need a rotation. I just needed to do insert location. That's why I did that. This is weird. Yeah, because it would be normally swinging around. I'm trying to decide if I could just fix this by changing. So this is where I have to be an animator. This is not just motion capture here. If you're going to change the motion capture, you have to really think of what you want that to look like and how that should be. More so than what's on the video, because you can't follow that anymore. I might start with just modifying the heel a bit. It has this rotation now. That's fair, which one I want to modify. So here, I don't think this looks right to me. So if I were to rotate this, maybe this way, I think might look better to me. Alright, so let's do the same trick we did last time. Before it was messed up, let's just record, you know, whatever the rotation is. It'll be a good rotation. And then where's another good one? So I guess the one goes back down. So maybe I guess probably a good one. So let's insert a rotation. So in between the two, so we want to change this. So here we rotate on the Y, local Y. I think would be back. Did it undo? I don't think it did. Maybe it did. Oh, maybe it's thinking. Ah, crap. Did I undo too many times? No, I'm good. Okay, so I think rotating on the Y would move it out more, which I think would be better. Yeah, I think it's fine. So we'll start with inserting rotation there. So let's see what that looks like. Maybe better. Interesting. Definitely not quite. I think I'll change a little bit on the calf as well, but I don't think it looks that bad. Let me turn off the front view and get a drink while it's doing this. Yeah, there's a little bit on the calf, I think, but maybe it's just the heel that makes it look like that. Wait, no, there's a swing that's kind of occurring. I think it needs to be a little more straight up and down. Like, you know how these are straight up and down here? So this needs to be straight up and down. So let's just say this is a good rotation. And then once her foot landed, that 2 was a good rotation. So in the middle, Let's rotate on the maybe Y. I don't know. Oh, think about this. What would be better? No, I don't think that one looks good. Maybe. Make it a little more straight that way. Yeah, that's probably going to be the next one. For how straight we want this leg. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let's see. There's something twitchy in it. Right here. It's a weird twitch thing that happens. I wonder if I should just adjust it to make it straight again. Or straighter. It's maybe a mistake. Let's see. I don't know. I'll probably change some of the root again. Alright. So I think we'll have to double check, but this may look off now. Yeah, it does. Because things are sliding around a little different because I straightened the leg out. So let's see. Let's start with this one. So this one is right on that line, and so we want to keep it that way. So I'm going to be changing views, but we'll stick with X first. So if I jump to this one, and I grab this, move that down, insert the, in this case it's location because we're doing the hip. And then now let's check the other view. So that's over here. This also needs to be moved. Insert location. Okay. So this needs to be adjusted, I think, too. Even though I think this is before our other edits. But I see what happened there. So basically in between this edit and this one. Oh. Yeah. So we just need to put another marker probably halfway. Grab this on the Y and move it back. Insert location. There, it looks better. I'll have to fix probably the angle of the foot, but at the moment. Let's watch it from the other angle. So this one has a significant amount of sway to it. This one's not right. I think it's because, see, this straightens out and that gets it confused. I think. Actually, I want to change this one. I think I do want to fix this right now. So let's just do a insert rotation for this one. And then when the foot comes back down, say, oops. These, I mean, it doesn't still look all that right, but we'll say it is. So where I want to fix this right there, that looks just awful. So let's rotate. Still want to lock it into one of the axes, not that one. Nope. Guess it's gonna be Z. No, wait a minute. I don't like any of them. There we go. Maybe there. Insert that rotation. Alright, let's go back to work on this hip. So was this one? I can't remember if it was X or Y that was. Okay. No, it's the X, that's bad. Okay. So let's figure this out. So from here to here to here, we're getting off the ground a bit. Here we're sliding. So let's put this back to there. Insert location this time. Then we'll grab it again, move it back to here. Actually, I think I might want to lock it down. Grab it on the X, so I don't change too much at once. Oh, no. God damn it. I want to do just the location. I mean, it doesn't hurt to add rotation, but not necessary. See how low that is right there? I'll have to fix that. I mean, it's kind of because the calf has a little switch there. I wonder if I shouldn't just bring it off the ground a bit. That's what that looks like. That's nice. Oh, I didn't even really notice the issue. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. Just a little bit of waver. I like it. Alright, this is good. So now, the part I hate the most, which is fixing the fingers. So, and part of the reason is because the gloves are just too big. And I know Manus is working on a smaller glove, but it cannot come soon enough. So I don't know, this is on the y-axis, right? Yeah, so let's just move a finger out here. We'll insert the rotation. We'll do the same for this one. Rotate on the y. You know, maybe like that. Let's do both hands at once. Why not? Look at this. It's almost always this finger too. I don't know why that finger has such a problem. I don't really care if it's sticking up a bit. That's fine. Just needs to be on the right y-axis. Okay. So that at least is a good starter. And just for shits and giggles, let's just do an ending one. I'm still experimenting what's the best way to fix these. Not awful. Huh. Strangely, it doesn't look that bad. I bet it does in the middle somewhere. Maybe not. That looks fine. So typically when it happens, we make a change in the first frame. Finger's a little bit weird, but it's okay. It's simply that the gloves are on wrong, or they just moved or something. I know they're not miscalibrated because we had done calibration tests. Okay. Well, actually, that wasn't a problem. Guess I shouldn't have been complaining. Okay, the other thing I might do is take this wrist and fix that because it's crooked. And there's a sensor it shoves into the gloves because they did not give me a connector for the top because they did not make one. Manus does not support Shadow, but Shadow are some awesome individuals, and they added the ability to support Manus. But I don't have a holder for it. I'm going to try and fix that, even though they don't support independent fixing. But we'll see. We'll see if they change their mind. All right, how's that wrist look at the end? Yeah. Yeah, not awful. Pretty cool. Looks like a superhero stance there. The wrist look fine? No. Easy. Easy peasy. All right, so what this looks like. Not bad. That's a little off, especially at the end where I kind of, did my horrible animation skills there, but in general, I think I like it. I think we're gonna go with it. I thought this would be a short, easy one. It was not super short. I guess I didn't think it would be easy. Knowing the spins might be complicated. Alright, so I like this. Let's save it. And I'm going to switch it back to object mode, and then in Hacktop I will do a stage 2 export, which will save it off and prepare it for the next level. Alright, is it? It'll close once it's done saving all the different formats because it creates a FBX export, it creates a GLB, really just a bunch of things that open source software can use. I guess packaged up so anybody wants spinning motion captures that have been cleaned up, this handles all that. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, what just happened? Oh, it's doing the second part. There it goes. So it finishes that, and then that should be done. So we can say sync. And what syncing does, it takes the information of whatever we just worked on, and it should populate the spreadsheet here. But it hasn't yet, so I don't know. All it'll really do is I'll change this to be queued on the side and puts however long those frames were. So I should probably check, make sure there's no errors on that. No, this is probably fine. I gotta fix that. But meta file found. That's good. But for some reason, Godot does not seem to be responding to me. Any errors here? Yeah, old errors in formatting. No, same output. Don't know, but I can go ahead and troubleshoot that, and I think that will be probably it for now. I can take this video and maybe break this down to something significantly smaller, just to kind of show how to fix up some things and some of those techniques. And yeah, I think that'll be it. All right, anybody who ends up watching this, thank you, and I'll try to do some more later. All right, bye.